Hi, Ed Martin with Remax First here in Shelby Township. I've been working with MI Real Source for my whole career, about 30, 32 years. Work with a small team over here at Remax First and specialize in selling in the Metro Detroit area. However, we have been branching out to some of the outer up north and resort property areas up north when needed. We've recently taken advantage of the data sharing that's really helped a lot because again, we've started branching out a little bit and listing properties in other areas. In the last 2 years or so, we've done Lexington, Kaysville, Gladwin, Sugar Springs, Frederick, just had great success. Not that it's a huge part of our business, but when our past clients especially reach out, we feel that we can really provide a service in areas just outside of our local Detroit area. So that's really helped a lot. Sure. Well, what we've noticed and identified, and I guess I learned it kind of on my own, I sold a cottage up north a few years ago, and I've had many friends and family, have either resort or hunting property or recreation property, say north of Flint or Saginaw. But what we noticed is that the buyers or the calls, the leads that seem to come in are from the 734-586-248 810 area code basically around Metro Detroit. So we've identified that a big part of the market that buys in that northern area come from downstate here. So it really just ties in nicely. Well, we are part of the Northern Great Lakes now. So recently we just sold, in fact, we're going to close on it next Monday, but we sold a cottage. It was a cottage for our client up in the Gaylord area. And we just had this is a busy market right now. And I wasn't sure what the response would be all the way up there, but it was very similar to our market down here. We had 20 some showings in a short period and sold the property at a real nice price. And out of those 20 showings, about three or four of them were from, I would say, south of Flint. And the rest of the showings were from the local agents up in the area. And actually, a agent in Gaylord had access to the listing up there, showed it and sold it, and we're closing next Monday. Well, that's a good question. We had a hard time getting it out to the public. I mean, I'm talking maybe 3 or 4 years ago when we were still doing this type of work. So I had to reach out basically manually to some of the local real estate agents if there happened to be a Remax close. I know a few brokers upstate, so I would contact them directly, email them over the listing, and kind of do it the old-fashioned way, which worked, but it was very cumbersome. And this is just a much better system now that we're all tied in together. One of the ways this really came to light is that we did have a family friend that we were very close to that was selling their cottage out of our area technically.
Mhm.
And not that I was looking over the other agent's shoulder, but the house was on the market for over a year. My friend was really in a need financially that he just wanted to sell the property and be done with it. And I was trying to help and push along the agent to get it sold. And finally I said, Bill, I know I can do a good job. And sure enough, we listed it. And believe it or not, the buyer worked at the same elementary that the client down here where their kids went, but they didn't find out about the property from there. They found about it, through the MLS. And amazingly enough, we sold the property up north, and it was from a fellow that lived in the next town. So one of the great things about the MI Real Sources data sharing is that once we enter a listing, even if it's up north or out of area, it automatically merges with NGLAR. You don't have to enter your listings 2 or 3 times. It's just seamless, and the agents in our board, as well as in the other data sharing areas, have access to it, and it just makes it easy. They set it up on showing time, and it's really no different than having a listing right here in your local market. So it's worked out. We don't have to enter it into different boards. We don't have to toggle into different systems. You just enter it into MI Real Source, and then they take over sharing it with all the other MLSs, and it's been great for us. Great tool.